Hey guys, it's Vanderiller again. We are here at Long Branch because people have been bugging me to do a cab ride video in the Comet V, and so I've decided to run train... What train is this? This is train... Oh, I lost it. Here it is. This is train 2608, NJ Rail 2608 from Long Branch to Hoboken. Long Branch to Hoboken. Running with 6 Comet cars and an ALP-45 pushing from the rear. I would probably have done this with the F40 PH-2CAT DLC, but considering how buggy the cab car is for that DLC at the moment, I'm not going to touch it until DTG fixes it. Alright, so here we are. I know it says Dover. It's not supposed to say Dover. I don't know why it says Dover. I still haven't read the manual, so I don't know exactly how to change the destination on the train itself. So we're just gonna deal with it. So here we are in the Comet V. I'm gonna turn on the cab signaling. Control D for the aces and Control F for the ATC. Everything seems to be in order. We're in car 6006. Let's do a quick horn and bell test. I still haven't figured out why when you turn the bell on in the cab car, the bell turns on in the locomotive as well. It shouldn't do that. That's just a scripting issue. Okay, so horn works. Let's turn the lights on. Once again, J turns on. J toggles the ditch lights. There is an option in the cab car to actually have the ditch lights flashing, which I think is pretty cool, but I don't know if you can manually, I don't know if there's a keyboard shortcut for that. Yes, okay, so the keyboard shortcut to make the ditch lights flash is to hit Control, to hold Control, and then hit J, and then that'll bring the ditch lights to the flash position. You want to turn them off, hit J once, brings it back to normal. Turn them all the way off, hit J again, and then so yeah. So by hitting J alone, that only toggles the on and off. But if you want to make them flash, hold the Control and hit J. That's it. It's cool, right? Alright, so our scheduled departure time from Long Branch is 7:45. We still have a couple minutes. Let's do this brake test before we depart so I don't break any rules here. You have brake release. Alright, release is good. Apply. Alright, brakes look good to me. Okay. That's your sander, that's your horn, reverser, throttle, brake. Like I said before, I mentioned in the other videos, the dynamic brake portion of the throttle does not work in the cab car as it should in real life. It does not work. It should not work. So there's nothing wrong with this. You're not supposed to be able to select any dynamic brake positions from the cab car. All dynamic braking is handled by the automatic brake handle, and it's blended based on your brake reduction. Remember, 16-pound reduction equals 100% dynamic brakes. 16-pound reduction means your dynamic brake means your brake pipe, the white needle brake pipe, is sitting at 94 psi. That is a 16-pound reduction in a 110 psi brake pipe. So we are now at 7:45. Let's open the doors. Let the people board. Do the doors open? Yes, they do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Middle 4 cars. Okay. Alright, we are ready to go. Let me set this camera in a good position. Ah! Come on, work with me. Good enough. Alright. So we're ready to go. NJ Rail 2608. NJ Rail 2608 Highball Long Branch. Alright, so I just want to let you know that the horn sound is recycled from the Pacific Surfliner cab car. I have no plans at the moment to replace the horn sound in the Comet V cab car. There's also an issue with the alerter. There's no alerter sound in the Comet V cab car, which is sort of a pain in the ass. I will mention this to DTG support. Hopefully they can work in an alerter sound into the Comet V cab car. I don't know why that wasn't caught to begin with, but yeah, I'll see what I can do about that. So turn on gauge lights, and there I go. I missed another grade crossing. Whatever. Like I said before, the grade crossings are not marked in this DLC. There are no whistle signs to let you know grade crossings are coming up. You have to keep an eye out for the grade crossings yourself. Otherwise, you'll miss them, and you'll forget to blow the horn, blah blah blah, rules violation, oh, instant decertification. Oh no. First stop is Little Silver at 7:52. Just as a note, wheel slip is very prevalent on the sets that have the locomotive at the rear. Even if you do turn the sander on, if the dynamic brake is set for the maximum rating, you will have wheel slip. So just try to ignore that. It's a game physics issue. There's not much I can do about it personally. Once we get to Little Silver, I also want to demonstrate that the cab insulation works on the Comet V as well. If I open the windows, the volume of the sounds that are coming from the outside the cab do actually increase. So I think that's a neat feature. Just me, but you know. Alright, so let's demonstrate that window thing. Oh yeah, so that whole window volume thing, that feature is pretty neat in my opinion. I think that's a nice way to code in the sound so that you don't have to use too many different sound files. Alright, next stop, Red Bank at 7:57. Red Bank, 7:57. Alright, so you're looking at the speedometer, and you notice that there's a green bar that's filling up behind the little moving black tick mark here. This tick mark here. This green bar should not be present. It's only the bar only lights up red or green when there's a cab signal restriction, which I don't at the moment have. I have a clear cab signal ahead of me, so technically that green bar should not be there. That alerter is gonna get me one day. I'm gonna not know that it's on, and it's gonna give me a penalty break. It's gonna be really annoying. So far, I'm having a much easier time stopping this consist because it's a 6-car consist and not an 8 or a 10-car consist. Most of the platforms on the coastline are shorter than 8 cars, so having a little bit of space to play with is really helpful. So we're gonna sit here until the scheduled departure time of 7:57. As you would in real life, the conductors will not close the doors until the scheduled departure time. Now, like I said before, the way the brake handle is coded is very realistic. The only thing that they didn't manage to script in was a working electric hold position. When the brake is in this position right now, which it's in right now, what should actually happen is that brake cylinder pressure should be held at the current level, while the brake pipe actually recharges to release pressure. That way, if the engineer needs to release the brakes and then immediately reapply the brakes again, he can do that without worrying about bleeding all of his air out of the brake pipe. So let's go. Doors are closed. Next stop is Middleton. Next stop, Middleton at 8:03. 8:03, next stop. Whoops. is a lot of schedule padding. Oh, it's too fast. Or not. Alright, I thought I was coming in too fast for that stop, but apparently it's just right. Okay. Since we're stuck here for about another minute, let's actually look at something else that has been coming up as an issue, and that is the passenger car interiors. So this is the interior of a Comet 4, as you can see, clearly recycled straight from the Metro North Shoreliner. The seats are wrong, the seat layout is wrong, in general the texture of the colors are wrong. I mean, I don't know how they thought that you could pass Metro North interiors as New Jersey Transit interiors. I have no idea. I really don't know. This is the Comet 5 interior. It looks exactly the same as the Comet 4 interior, except that there's actually a bathroom, which is, again, the wrong color. But, you know, sometimes you gotta deal with what you get. There's not much you can do in terms of stuff like this. Alright, doors closed. Let's get going. Next stop is Hazlitt. Next stop, Hazlitt at 8:09. 8:09. Next stop. This is how you know I've been playing the game too long, is that when a silent alerter goes off and I can immediately pick it up and deactivate it. turn the F4 HUD on real quick. I actually want to see what the G-forces around the next curve are. Why is my sander on? Alright, notice that this is very well super elevated. So you barely get any G-forces on that. It's really nice. Alright, this is the situation where having the functioning electric hold position would have helped a lot. Notice how I made a full service, knew that there was too much brake, then bailed off, then had to reapply brake immediately. Now, if I could have recharged my brake pipe while I was holding that full service, I would not have overrun that platform right there. So I overran that platform about 2 cars, which is, oh well, happens. But like I said, if we had a functioning electric hold position that recharged the brake pipe while holding the brake application in the cylinder, I would not have overran that platform. Alright. Highball Hazlitt, next stop Aberdeen Mattawan, next stop Aberdeen Mattawan in 4 minutes, 8:13 Aberdeen Mattawan. So it's clear I have a 60-mile-an-hour restriction. I'm not sure why that bar just turned gray. Don't think that should have turned. Hold on. Disabled, enabled. Alright. I'm not sure why that bar just turned gray. I'll have to double check that later. So we'll be stuck here for another minute until the departure time at 8:13. It's really hard to tell whether or not the sander's on because there's like literally no sound that comes from the sander in the cab car. So I'm probably gonna leave it on by accident every once in a while. Alright, so we skipped the next stop. 2608 skips South Amboy and stops at Perth Amboy. So we're not going to be stopping at the next stop. We're bypassing South Amboy and making a stop at Perth Amboy. And then we will express from Perth Amboy all the way to Newark Penn Station. Scheduled departure from Perth Amboy is 8:25. Scheduled departure from Newark Penn Station is 8:49. Alright, I'm just resetting the cab signaling because I don't know why that bar turned from green to gray. Gonna see if that fixes the problem. It does not. I don't know why it did that. Oh no, okay, good. It's green again. Which I find very odd. I don't know why it's doing that. And it changed again. I have no idea why that bar is doing that, but at any rate, there shouldn't even be a gray bar that's following the black tick mark anyway. That should be white. The only time that the circular bar should have any color is when there is a cab signal restriction. When there's a cab signal restriction, the authorized speed is marked in green, and if the train is exceeding the authorized speed, the range between the maximum authorized speed and the speed the train is currently traveling at, that will be red. Otherwise, this should not have any color. There should be no color here. So yep, that's what a restriction looks like. Alright, so we're still at a 45-mile-an-hour restriction. So you saw that signal reduction we just experienced. We went from a limited to a medium restriction. So you saw that I was traveling at the limited speed, 45 miles an hour, and as soon as we hit the medium signal, that section between 30 miles an hour and 45 miles an hour turned red. That's what is supposed to happen when you experience a signal reduction in the cab car. Remember, we are not stopping. We are not stopping at South Amboy. We are bypassing South Amboy and stopping at Perth Amboy. Okay, so we are at Perth Amboy. Last stop along the coastline until we hit Newark Penn Station. Express stops from here on out. Next stop is Newark Penn Station. I'll sit here till 8:25, till the scheduled departure time. I mean, there's no reason to leave early. Scheduled departure time from Newark Penn Station is 8:49, so we literally have 24 minutes to get there. It will not take 24 minutes to get from Perth Amboy to Newark Penn Station, especially with the routing I've set up. This is free roam. You might have noticed this is free roam because, again, there are issues that are being experienced with Quick Drive right now on this route, so I'm using free roam to record these runs. And I've set the switches up so that they put us on the express track between Rahway and Newark Penn Station. So with the short consist, we should be able to actually hit 100 miles an hour between Rahway and Elmora. Alright, next stop, Newark Penn Station, 8:49. Followed by Hoboken at 9:10. Final destination of this train is Hoboken. Scheduled arrival is 9:10. We'll probably get there about 5 to 6 minutes early. I think I should hit a 60-mile restriction at the next signal. We'll see. Watch the speedometer for the color change. I think we will hit a 60-mile-an-hour restriction. Yep. NJ Rail 2608, Highball, Woodbridge. NJ Rail 2608, Highball, Avenel. deactivating ATC for a moment, because if I don't, then this entire stretch of track between where I am now and the next signal will be displayed as a section of track with a limited speed restriction, which is not true. As soon as you clear the switch at Rahway, you should get an MAS cab signal. You should be able to accelerate to maximum speed. So I won't turn on the automatic train control until we pass the next signal, which I don't understand why there isn't a signal between here and after Linden. I don't know if they... I feel like there should be a signal here. So, I don't know. But it's probably just a game code error. So I'm just going to leave that off until we pass the next signal and I'll turn it back on. We should be able to hit track speed, or at least maximum allowable speed, 100 miles an hour, before we get to El Mora. Alright, ATC's back on. That's how good the brakes are, folks. That's how good the brakes are. So I'm gonna change the tracks real quick while I don't have any grade crossing to worry about. I'm actually gonna put us on track A, because if my memory serves, all trains from Newark Penn to Hoboken platform on track A. So I'll just do that real quick. And so supposedly it's supposed to take us 10 minutes to get from here to Newark Penn Station. but we're not that far away from Newark Penn Station, so that's where the schedule padding comes into play here. It's a lot of schedule padding, so we're going to be sitting at Newark Penn for a little bit to wait for the time to expire. Okay, so we're about 5 minutes early. into Newark Penn Station. So I'm not gonna make you sit here and wait 5 minutes for the doors to close, or for me to open the doors and close the doors so we can leave. So I'm just gonna open the doors and I'll cut, and I'll see you in 5 minutes. Hey guys, so 4 minutes or 5 minutes or however long it's been. 5 minutes is up, so I'm back. And we are ready to go. Alright, so I just want to make a note that track 1, this curve does not have super elevation because of some technical issues with putting super elevation on this curve, so you will experience a bit of G-force on this curve, but as long as you stay within the speed limit, it shouldn't be a big issue. I also want to note that there is a phase gap at the top of this hill right here, where you change from 12 kV catenary to 25 kV catenary. Standard practice is to throttle out, zero your throttle as you go through the phase gap to allow the automatic tap switch transformer to switch to the new voltage. I believe you actually do manually set that here, so you would switch from the 12 kV to the 25 kV if you're going in this direction, and if you're going in the opposite direction, then you would switch from the 12 kV to the from the 25 kV to the 12 kV. But that's not really simulated here, so you don't have to worry about it. Next and last stop is Hoboken. Scheduled arrival time at the platform is 9:10 in the morning. Jersey Transit Meadowlands Maintenance Complex employee stop. I'm actually surprised they didn't put this as a stop. They really should have, actually. For those of you wondering what kind of frame rate performance I'm getting, I'm seeing approximately a constant 30 frames per second, assuming that no scenery is loading. If scenery is loading, then it does drop to as low as like 15 frames a second, but after the scenery finishes loading, it does jump back up to 30 frames. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the next and final stop, Hoboken Terminal. Please gather your personal belongings and check the area around your seat. Make sure you don't leave anything behind on the train. Thank you for riding with New Jersey Transit. Hope you have a pleasant day. Next and final, Hoboken Terminal. That 15-mile-an-hour limit should have came well before the signal. Okay, it's Hoboken, last stop, Hoboken, last stop. Yep, so this is Hoboken. The detail is very nice. Platforms accommodate 8-car trains, approximately, depending on the platform you're at. I have a couple of trains just sitting in here. 3-car shuttle, another 6-car train. Yeah, Hoboken is very well modeled. I think it's very well modeled. It's beautiful, so much detail. Now, if there were trains on every yard track, I would probably lag to death. But since there are only 3 trains here, I can get a decent... Well, I'm getting about 16 frames a second right here. So it's not too bad. I like how they have signs here for the Meadowlands train, but this route doesn't actually go to the Meadowlands. If you look where it branches off, so you do get a portion of the Bergen, Maine up through Secaucus, but that's it. It stops after Secaucus, and there's also no coded station at Secaucus either. So it's sort of, I think it's sort of funny that they have the signage here for the Meadowlands rail line. Also think it's funny that they have multi-levels here, even though the screenshots that they've released with the ALP46 clearly show that it is coming with comets, which is sort of a disappointment. I was really hoping that they would include different push-pull coaches, especially since the multi-levels are the mainstay of the New Jersey Transit fleet at this point in time. So, yeah. Other than that, I think that's really all I have to say about this run for now. You want to look at the scenery, it's really nice. They have, they rendered the Freedom Tower, you got Jersey City, you got Midtown, you got a moving ferry. That's cute. They have the New Jersey Transit light rail tracks, although there's no light rail rolling stock to go with it, of course. I am actually surprised they modeled these chairs properly here. That's actually what it looks like in real life. This is actually closed off, so that's accurate. There's Midtown, the old ferry piers. Pretty neat. Let's see if I can get a good screenshot of this. I think that's pretty decent. Right there. Alright, cool. Alright, so that's all for now, folks. Until next time. See ya.